You're listening to The Gal Code, hosted by me, Rob Gartland.
And me, Bibi Bagnall.
Thanks for joining us this week to discuss hot topics, our pit and the peak of the week,
and our Gal Code, the rules to live by.
Let's get started. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I'm stressed.
If you understood the technical issues that complex us each and every week.
Was that about 45 minutes on tech problems?
Yeah, but we have good snacks.
Oh, we've got, right, okay.
Oh, welcome everyone, by the way.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, episode 9.
So we have got the new Colin the Caterpillar mini Colin faces.
Iconic.
So when you get Colin the Caterpillar, I can't speak. Colin the Caterpillar cake. Is this the head?
Yeah. But I used to always fight for it with my siblings. And then sometimes when you don't get a Colin, it's like icing. But like a Colin is the white chocolate head. I used to eat the head and the feet. Does anyone else? Just the head and the feet. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. We have got we did go through all the technical difficulties.
Oh gosh. I just want to disclaim that basically Rob bought me a microphone.
And it looked the part.
It looked the part. Was it the part? No, doesn't work. So I'm now back on my headset thing, which sounds worse than when I was on Zoom. So terribly sorry for this. Like really, I mean, I'm just feeling for your ears at this point. Like I wouldn't want to listen to it either. I'm sorry. There's no need for me to be so negative. Positive energy, like headset needs to do me well on this podcast. It's basically can you just bear with us?
It's for this week. It's absolutely fine. I mean, I don't understand what went wrong with this microphone. It was £12.99.
But it just wasn't the vibe.
But it looks... I mean, you could keep this once I get a refund and you're allowed to keep it, and you could just sing into your mirror with it. Rip off the wire and it could be like a pretend microphone.
Yeah, interesting.
Do you ever do that?
No. Oh, I mean, I sing and dance in the mirror, but I don't pretend I have a microphone.
Oh, I used to use my TV remote, and then when I bought a microphone from... Robert Dias for £20.
Oh my god.
Sometimes I do use it.
I would, hairspray.
Did you ever used to pretend when you were younger? I saw a tweet about this. When you were younger and your parents were out the house and you by yourself, that you'd walk down the stairs and pretend that you got evicted from Big Brother.
No.
Oh, I did. I used to play like booze and just pretend I was evicted from Big Brother. Did you never do that?
No.
It was a tweet and it had like thousands of retweets.
Oh my god.
I used to do that. I don't know how I went from one thing to another, but that just happened.
I used to pretend I would like be in my own TV show or like I was famous.
Every time you go to the airport, do you imagine you're on like a reality show with like your sunglasses and you just strut through it with your suitcase?
Don't wear sunglasses at the airport, unlike you.
Oh, I do that. Anyway,
oh my god.
Shall we move into our pit and peak of the week?
Let's get into this week's episode. I just don't know if I have like two separate pit of the peaks this week. Like my pit was like my hangover from bank holiday was just something else, Rob. Like
okay.
Oh my god, it really just, you know, like obviously, so I went out Saturday, we did the episode Sunday, so I was hungover for that. Then on Sunday I went big. Oh my god, I spent £80 on rosé.
Oh, I mean bank holiday, but
yeah, Sunday was hard, and then Monday, oh my god, I did not move on Monday. I did not resurface.
Okay, so what, do you just cocooned?
I cocooned in this bed. Mm-hmm. Then I guess that's my peak of the week, my projector.
Oh, nice.
£60 on Amazon, best thing I've spent. I just had the projector on, obviously when it was dark. I watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before, then watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before too, and then watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before again.
So I have never seen this. Well, actually, I don't think I'd ever heard of it until you mentioned it to me.
Really?
So yeah, can you just tell me like a Cliff Note version of why I should watch this?
Well, hold on. Have you watched Kissing Booth?
No.
Are you into any of those teeny Netflix vibes?
Do you know what? I'm kind of anti-Netflix. Like, I do have it, but I never really go to it. I don't know why. I always feel like there's not much on there that I actually want to watch.
Well, I'm loving the Kissing Booth at the moment.
So is it like Love Simon-ish?
I haven't seen that, but I feel like maybe it would be.
Or like a wild child and Angus thongs and like a sandwich.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of like
We can get with that.
Kind of going for that type of vibe.
Okay. But was bank holiday the best?
Bank holiday was like so fun.
Like, I don't want to sound like a coaster, but you live, laugh, love.
I've got a really
The best
weird
time.
story to tell.
Oh no, what?
It's just so strange.
Oh no.
I just don't know if it's for the pod.
I think it's always for the pod.
It's always for the pod, but like also like once I say it's on the pod, like it's out there now, isn't it?
I mean, with a lot of the things that we've said, we've passed that point.
Yeah, but okay, right. Maybe I'll just tell it. It's just I don't know if people will understand the weirdness of it. Okay, so obviously I'm at this place. Hold on, I'm just
get comfortable for your truths.
get comfortable for the truth.
Here we
So
go.
I'm at this place, the Ship in Wandsworth.
Nice.
10 out of 10 recommend. And oh my god, the boys there are so good looking.
It is
The
like,
girls there are also stunning. So
it's like
competition.
prime meat.
Yeah, it's great.
Meat? Prime people.
Prime people? I don't know.
Prime meat a bit offensive?
Prime meat. I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm talking to like this boy, chatting away, and I know because I've already seen her. So do you remember on when I was telling you about the guy who I went on a date in like January? Like, but oh no,
Was he pen palish?
yeah, the one who I keep calling a pen pal.
Pen pal.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
pen pal's ex-girlfriend is here
At the same venue.
at the same venue.
On bank holiday weekend.
on bank holiday weekend. So
No.
I'm like, oh my god, like can't cope. That's so
Painful,
weird. But then
painful.
also it's like, does she know who I am? I was her. I would know who I am. Like,
Yeah, because you
there's-
do the stalk, let's be honest.
Yeah, there's droplets that you would kind of figure out. Anyway, she's like looking at me from across the venue, and I'm like,
She's spotted you, she's dotted the T's.
yeah,
Spotted and
exactly.
dotted.
Also, she's like stunning. So I'm on the table with these boys, and it's kind of like bench vibes. So I've got my back to the table, and then someone spills a drink, so I turn around. She's at the same table as me, bang opposite me, and I just got eye contact, and I was like, oh, okay,
Painful.
yeah, weird.
Did you have any communication?
No.
Okay.
Like awkward eye contact a few times, but like no communication. I was like, yeah, she just kept looking at you, like she kept side eyeing you. She knew. She kept wanting you to like turn, like looking as if she wanted you to turn around. I was like, yeah, that is just so weird, and it just freaked me out. I was like, do you know what it is? Like, Southwest London is so small.
The world is so small.
So small.
Oh, it's painful.
But what do you think? Is that like, if that happened to you, would you feel weird? I was like, am I being
I
so
would
overreactive?
feel-
But I was like, what the fuck?
I think I'd feel awkward because it's one of those situations where you don't know the way that someone's going to take you, so it puts you slightly on edge. Because you don't know if she does know who you are, if she doesn't know who you are. If she doesn't know who you are, what does she think of you? Because it's just a lot of
Also,
like.
then like awkward that like you think I'm with your ex, but then I'm getting with another boy in front of you.
Well, in any case, then she should have been happy at that point.
Yeah.
But then, is she over the ex or is she not over the ex? How did that end? Was she the
I
dumped
think
or was she
it
the
ended-
dumpy?
No, she dumped him.
Well,
From what
then
I
she
found
shouldn't
out.
have a problem.
Yeah, and then it was like over a year ago, and
Okay.
I actually told him. Am I like I'm not being a bit of a hoe that I'm still speaking to him whilst going for the other guy? Who knows?
Absolutely not.
No,
I'm sorry.
He's a
no.
pen pal. Like anyway.
Until it's exclusive, I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
fill up that Rolodex and do your thing.
So I was like, oh my god, like funny story. Like,
Interesting. I didn't. Painful. I hate running into. It's the same as when you run into someone that you went on a date with once and it's been ages, and you have that almost nod of like, are you supposed to talk? Are you not? Like, oof.
oh.
It sounds like a wild bank holiday weekend, to be
Oh
honest.
my god, it
Ups
was
and
like
downs.
so wild. It was just so
Pits and
fun.
peaks, pits and peaks.
It felt so good to have like a little bit of my wild normality back with me.
As close to it as you can get in these current times.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Your pit and peak of the week.
My-
I've had a long-winded debrief.
I like it though.
Yeah.
So my peak and pit of the week. So my pit of the week, I have two. My New York trip is officially cancelled.
Oh, are you surprised?
I was holding out hope. I waited till the last possible minute, and then they didn't even cancel it. I started to ring them, and then like get it turned into vouchers. So I've rebooked.
Okay, when have you rebooked
next
for?
June for 3 weeks.
Lovely.
So my friend's getting married, so
Oh.
we'll go for that, and then I'm going for my 25th birthday.
Oh my god, that's so fun.
Yes, like the Saturday, I'll celebrate my 25th, and then on the Sunday, it's my actual 25th. Probably catch a show, go
Yeah.
for dinner, come home on the Monday. I feel like June will also be like 30 degrees, so it'll be nice. Heavenly.
Oh yeah. In New York.
Yeah. In Central Park, jogging around, and my friend just got the cutest dog ever. So I'm excited for
I'll
that.
tell you what. So that's like everything happens for a reason. Like you can't go this
Yeah.
year, but you've rebooked, and it means you can do the wedding as well.
And I can like save up and get like more theatre tickets, and
Exactly.
everything will be open.
Oh,
Because
brilliant.
you still can't even dine in over
What?
there. Yeah, you can't dine in. It's still just dine outside and takeaway.
Need to get Rishi over there to do
Yeah.
a bit of eat out to help out.
Got nourish. But my other pit of the week includes you. So I was in Soho on Wednesday. Out for drinks, and it's a kind of pit peak, and I went to the toilet and I was voice noting Bibi, and I was in the disabled toilet
God,
of this
you were
restaurant in
so
Soho.
drunk, and you were
I'm
like-
gonna play this voice note. Hang on.
Babe, no stress. I'm literally drunk in Soho. I literally fell asleep and I'm drunk and I'm just like, fuck. I'm currently weeing. I hope you can't hear that. I'm a mess. Oh well. Oops. I hope you're having a good evening though. You look fucking phenomenal today, as always. 10 out of 10 stunner. Babes, honestly.
Anyway,
I just love that. By the way, you look like so good at work today.
you looked so good. The problem, my reason that's my pit of the week is midway through that voice note and me weeing in a disabled toilet is that door flung open to Gokwan. And Gokwan walked in on me mid-weeing and mid-voice noting you, smashed off my face. Like, by the way, you look amazing. And literally Gokwan, oh, sorry. And I was like, oh, hi. No, it's fine. It's fine. It was quite the mortifying experience. I think it's kind of pit peaky.
Yeah.
Bit boathy.
That's funny.
But my other peak of the week is I have deleted all dating apps after last week. And
Good.
it's time to say go. I realised I'm putting all of this time into trying to meet other people that I should just put into myself.
Oh my god, yes, Rob. This is what I was like when I paused Hinge for ages.
I've done Hinge, Tinder, Grindr, everything. I've got rid because it just was negative. And to be honest, I got the most disgusting message today.
Oh no.
No, like, just grim. And this is the last message I received and the last message I sent. Do you want to read it? That's disgusting, isn't it?
Ew. I'm not even going to say that out loud.
You can't. Why would you send that to someone?
That's disgusting.
I'm not even going to say it on a podcast. And at that point, I was like, we're done here. Rob is peacing out.
Oh my god.
We're finished. So they're all gone. I'm going to now focus on me. I'm doing Sober September, I think, from, well, we're starting 7 days late.
That's
6
fine.
days. However many days. But I'm just going to try and do a bit of a self-care September.
So I'm going to give you that book that I have, Good Vibes, Good Life, by Next
yeah.
Every person I've given it to was like, absolutely yes.
I think
some things might be a little bit like, ooh, like a bit too like woo for you. But then it's like the other things, like they're so good, like this, you see things from a different perspective. Like
Self-help September.
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
self-help,
I like that.
self-care, self-love, September, living.
They're so opposite to me because I actually reactivated my Hinge.
Ooh, any potentials?
2 potential dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are we feeling about them?
Fine. I'm a bit like, because basically after my encounter on Monday, I'm a bit like, oh, do you know what? Why am I hermiting? I need to get back out there a little bit.
Yeah, I want you to get out there for the story time.
So, yeah, but like basically, but one of the situations on this Hinge is one of my problems I want to discuss with you. So should we get into like answering problems?
So we're going to fix your life. Or like try and give our best advice.
Please fix my life.
I
I can't even fix my own life. Who the fuck am I telling I'm going to fix theirs?
I might be a mess, but hey ho.
I'm well dressed.
I'm popping that. Oh, yes. I'm a pretty mess. We will be right back to help with your problems.
Let's go.
Like what you hear, or just like us and want to be supportive, head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button. It so matters in helping us get this thing off the ground. So go and do it.
Okay, so
I'm in such a Meghan Trainor phase in my life and I don't know why.
problem, you're helping with my problems now.
That's my personal problem that I need to deal with myself.
Get rid of Meghan Trainor. Come on.
Okay, so we are gonna answer. So we got some people to send us some of their problems, lifestyle
Things
issues,
they just need advice on.
things that they want to give advice on. And you know, you've listened to us now for 9 weeks. You can tell we're full of knowledge.
Yeah, and
full of it.
we literally have the answers to the earth. Like, honestly.
Call us Buddha. We're gonna sort the life out.
Which is why I'm asking you to help me on my own
So,
problem.
Bibi, you can start. I've got a few. You've got a few. Let's go with it. Okay.
Okay, so I matched with this boy on Hinge.
Okay.
So on Hinge, you can choose whether you show your last name or not. So,
okay.
So he doesn't have his last name on. He only shows his age, his height, where he lives, and like if he drinks alcohol. So he doesn't have anything about his work info, hometown, where he went to uni. It's fair, it has funny answers. So on one of my Hinge, obviously is my controversial opinion, Friends is not funny, because he gets them speaking. He replied back. He replied to me in August. Friends is not funny. Now when I reactivated my Hinge on Thursday, September the 3rd, I was like, And I was like, my slow replies are equally not as funny. And he put, I'll let you off, drinks on Tuesday to make sure we hate friends.
Oh, I like that bold, straight to the point.
I like the boldness, but I was like, I'm so busy. I was like, I appreciate how smooth you are, but I've plans Tuesday. I was like, potentially Monday? And he put, potentially yes. I'll be fresh off the plane though. So I'm like, oh, he's on holiday. Then he goes, what's your number? Let me give you a call to ask something. What do you want to ask me?
Okay, so I do not yet know. Did you give him your number?
Yeah, and I put me down for your Corona track and trace and drinks are off. That was really funny.
That's really good. Yeah, that's such good vibes. Well done. That's so
Well
good.
done, I know.
That's so good.
I'm
so
hilarious. So he hasn't replied back to that.
Okay, so
That was yesterday. But I want to see an Instagram. I want to see a last
his
name.
Instagram isn't attached.
Instagram's not attached.
So the first thing you'll see is when he messages you on WhatsApp. What's good is I always give my number because they have to message me, which means that the full name that's registered to their WhatsApp pops up on the first notification. Yeah,
Such
always.
a good idea.
Because otherwise, if you save it, it just
Yeah.
comes up with the first name.
Oh my God.
So always give your number, because then you'll get the full name back. You also then get the photograph, and when you got that full name, you then go to Facebook and Instagram and you find it.
Brill.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I need the full name to do my background checks.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also would say I don't personally like to have phone calls, and especially not a video call with people before I've met them. I can voice note them. I always do the voice note check for the voices. I like to hear someone's voice before I meet them just to sense it out.
I hate speaking on the phone.
But I don't like phone
also, I don't
calls.
understand you can phone and do all of that through Hinge. He's giving me serial Hinge vibes then. Like, he's straight to the point. He's got the number. This is not his first rodeo.
He's seen what he wants. He's going to go and get it. And let me see a picture, please. Is it? Oh, he found. Oh, yes, scroll. Oh.
He's on a TV show. Tipping Point.
He was on Tipping Point. Did he win Tipping Point?
He's got zero.
Should have gone
answer.
Drop Zone 3. That's so funny.
See, he's got funny answers.
Could you not just type in his name, Tipping Point, and where?
Yeah, I've tried that.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we just need him to. We know he's real.
Well, like, is he like Hinge just doesn't do security checks?
You have to attach your Facebook, no?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. You've sent your number. You'll get the full name back.
Okay, I like that tip.
And
What if he iMessages me and not WhatsApp?
say, drop me a WhatsApp. I don't use iMessage, and then
Yeah.
he'll WhatsApp you. And don't save the number. Don't save the number
Don't
till he's
save the
messaged you,
number.
because then you get the full name.
Also, if he does iMessage me, I can still search the number on Facebook.
Yeah, if
He's
it's
got it
attached.
connected. Okay,
But yeah, that's what I would suggest.
that was mine.
Now, I got one sent to me, and it says this. I have friends who are so beautiful, but I can't help but feel bad about myself when I see them on my social media. How do I unfollow them without offending them?
Mute.
That's what I was
Mute.
going to say.
I love the mute function. Also, I kind of know what it is. Like, so I know it's really bad. Like, sometimes I get that and I'll be like, I'm not going to like that picture just because they actually look really nice and I actually feel really shit about myself. I'm like, Bibi, listen to yourself. It's just a fucking lie.
Your inner devil
Like,
coming
like
out.
the photo and move on. Like, honestly. But I know sometimes when you are feeling a bit shit and then you see like your friends all glam and then maybe no one else is like me, but sometimes I get a little bit like that.
Do you think as well, has the FOMO returned post-lockdown?
Absolutely.
Even to a more intense level?
Yeah.
Like, because now everyone is so intent on going out and showing that they're doing things and out drinking. Like, I love my self-care Saturdays. Like,
But the thing is, because like in lockdown we've changed so much, whether that be we've put on weight, maybe our mental health's deteriorated, things that we used to maintain have gone a little
Yeah.
bit. And then you see people go back to normal, they do the hair and makeup, and they look glam, and they look amazing, whereas you might not be in that right place. I think there is a bit of an increased amount of that, of like people being a bit like, they're just not how they were, they're not feeling great, and then they see people going out looking glam, the FOMO is back.
it is back. And also, it's so easy to think it's okay if you're not in the place where they are. And it's okay sometimes to have a bit of jealousy or a bit of FOMO. Like, I get
Yeah.
it sometimes. I see those people out having drinks. I'm like, do I want to be doing that? And then I remember I chose not to. But the mute function is the best.
You don't have to mute them forever.
No, exactly. It is just, if you look at your social media as your happy place, that's something that you have to create, because social media can quite easily become so toxic. And if you're letting things into that, it's like if social media was the real world, are you going to actively let things into your close circle
Yeah.
that are going to make you feel unhappy? No. So you can support your friend without seeing everything about them every single day.
Absolutely. Like, we talk about doing self-care and like self-care September and self-care for us physically and mentally, but like social media self-care.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is? Like, I meet people, if anyone makes me feel shit, and if they're like not a celebrity, then they would be awkward if I unfollowed them. I do just mute them. Mute posts, mute stories, bon voyage.
But I don't follow any celebrities apart from Alexandra Beck. But I
Really?
don't follow anyone because I always think if I want to see someone's luxury amazing life and they're a celebrity, their account's not on private. I can go and look at it and do a stalk. But I don't want to see like hundreds of like ads and posted stuff and just everyone like who've got so much money. Like, of course they look great. They've got thousands and thousands of pounds to spend every month on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it on my feed, so I just keep my feed quite small to people who I actually want to see photos of. And also, always important to remember, social media is the highlight reel.
We say this all the time.
It's
don't
not
we?
your hustle.
So, like, to that person's question, yeah, we say mute, but also like once you see stuff like that, like, do you know what? Instead of going and thinking of something negative, actually train your mind to think something positive. So instead of being like, oh, why don't I look at that? Actually look at that and be like, do you know what? She's got gorgeous hair. Like, basically counteract your negative thought with something positive.
Yeah, and maybe if you're putting yourself down while looking at someone else, you need to give yourself that self-love.
Yeah.
Because maybe if you're looking at someone else and you're feeling a certain way about it, you need to turn around and look at yourself in the mirror, which can be really hard, and actually just say, hang on a minute, like X, Y, and Z. Give yourself the self-love and the confidence boost. Should we start? Should we make self-love, self-help, whatever September a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do self-care September.
Okay.
Do you have another one?
I do. Okay, there's a girl who is in our friendship group. Also, this is something I think every person can relate to.
Okay.
There's a girl who's in our friendship group and she's in a relationship with a boy since December. She always wanted to come out with us and do things when she's single. Whenever she gets into a relationship, she always sods us off. Then when things go pear-shaped, she comes running back to us. Should me and my other friend cut her off or stop being her safety blanket? Or just distance ourselves and be okay with it?
I think you have to speak to her about it. I really do. I think people need to remember to make time for their friends, but also when you imagine life's like a pie. You have to accept the fact that when someone gets into a relationship, the slices change and they've got to keep a section for themselves. There's a large section that goes towards that relationship, but they also need to remember, the people in relationships, that you need those slices that are your friends, because when the shit hits the fan, that's where you're going to turn.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's gone through that. I wouldn't cut her off because
No.
there's a reason why you've been friends for so long, and everyone goes through moments in life where they're closer or not as close to people.
It's not worth losing friends over
It's
a boy.
not.
So I think because I've been in like a toxic relationship, I like see things through a different lens a little bit. And maybe is there a reason why she is actually spending so much time with him? Is he actually almost controlling her?
Oh.
And almost, I mean, obviously this could be so absolutely wrong. It could be me being like negative Nancy, but like, is he stopping her from seeing the friends?
Or is maybe she's trying to hide certain aspects of her relationship being seen.
Yeah, I just think that's kind of interesting. And then obviously like in early stages of my ex relationship, when I would be like with him, I mean, I'd still see my friends, but then we'd argue and I'd always go back to my friends. And I nearly fell out with one of my good friends about it because she was like, I'm fucking sick of you. Like, she was like, you said you'd never get back with him and then you do and And it's hard because, of course, everyone will always go back to their friends because you can't talk about those things when things go wrong with them.
Yeah.
Family's different. You always go to your friends.
And also, like, you go to your friends with the bad, but you talk about it for 9 hours. You don't need to talk about the good for 9 hours.
Yeah, there's that as well.
So your friends are obviously going to hear more of the struggles, the worry, because that's what they need help with. And then there's that fear that your friends will then hate your boyfriend.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think we're always going to do that. Like, I think it's really not worth falling out with her over this.
But at the same time, protect yourself. So if you keep trying and you're not getting anything back, it's okay to approach that friend and say, look, I keep trying.
Yeah.
But also, I'm speaking as like a single bitch, and I'm just like, hang out with your friends. People like me, I'm the only single one. Hang out with me. Because also, there is this thing of like, when you're surrounded by couples, your first option you'll always be their second option. Not in a bad way.
Yeah, that's just
but
it,
I
really.
do feel like there's things, if I'm going to go and do something, the people who I would reach out with, like, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? If they were going to organise this, their first option would be their boyfriend or would be their partner, and then they would ask their friends.
Yeah.
So there is that understanding, I think, of people in relationships, sometimes reaching out and making that effort and having those strong bonds, but also then the people who aren't in them, looking in, can understand that, not in a bad way, but their first option is always going to be their boyfriend or girlfriend or partner. So I would just try and make some effort.
Your turn.
Mine kind of jumps off of the relationship one. My friend sent me this.
Okay.
I'm in a relationship and have been for a few years. However, the problems we had at the start of our relationship still remain. And no more what is that English? And no matter what I do or say, I can't seem to get him to take note. Is it time to call it quits, or will I keep hoping that he'll change?
The fact that you're debating calling it quits, it needs to be called quits.
I agree.
Yeah, you shouldn't. That thought shouldn't cross your mind unless, like, you wouldn't be thinking that.
No one's going to change for someone else. People can adapt, but if you have just big differences in your relationship and they're like really, like, he's stuck in one way and you're stuck in another way, it doesn't matter how much you're going to shout, ask, request. Would you change for someone? No, because you're who you are. So expecting them to change who they are, probably just not meant to be.
Yeah, and like, what was it? They've been together years, was it? And these were at the start of the relationship. So it's gone on a while, like a long time. It's embedded into their behaviour now.
And do you feel like as well, it's a classic case maybe of the fear of not being in a relationship keeps you in a relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what is the hardest thing is to walk away? Staying in is the easy option. And it's easy to do that. But honestly, I just think if you, like, the fact that you're debating, should I call it quits? Yeah.
And one thing that I know one of my really good friends did, she was been in a relationship for a good few years. And they recently took a little bit of a break just through lockdown, just to have some space. And then they've come back together and they're the strongest they've been.
That's interesting, because I never really knew how it felt about breaks.
So she just said they needed some time, and they both actually agreed that they needed some time. And I think taking the step away and having just a few weeks, and we were in lockdown anyway, so it's probably easier.
Yeah.
They've actually just come back together and are the strongest, but probably because they realised what they actually gave each other in life.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe do a little break situation.
Because sometimes you've got to lose something to work out if you actually miss it or if you just wanted it at the time.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I'm hoarding belongings. Sometimes I just really think I still want a jumper, but when it goes away, I don't remember it was there.
You mean like, did I miss it?
Did I miss the jumper?
No. I have one that's a bit different. So, how did you handle redundancy and being unemployed in the city with rent to pay? And they've put, I've got my re-interview on Thursday, but I'm in a weird, not mad if I don't get it kind of vibe, but also like, I'm scared because COVID. And I thought it'd be interesting to discuss because you're on furlough. I don't know, actually. I'm just like, but I'm just current climate. So, when I was redundant, I had 2 interviews. One was via a recruitment agency, and one was that I'd done myself for the job that I'm actually in now.
Yes.
And the one with the recruitment agency, I didn't love the job. It was loads of money. Like, it was great, like, salary. But, like, the job wasn't really there. And also, it was higher than it was a level higher.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no, don't really kind of want it, kind of don't really want it. And basically, I just didn't go to the interview.
Okay.
And I told people I did. Because people think, like, when you've been made redundant, you have to go to, like, every single job and interview and everything. And maybe you do, but I kind of was just like, no, it's not for me. And I just couldn't be bothered to deal with everyone being like, what do you mean you had an interview and you didn't go to it? And I was just like, it just wasn't really that kind of fazed by it. And I feel like that I can relate to that feeling of, oh my God, I should be bothered about this if I don't get it. But I do think when I then went for the job I'm in now, the first interview, I came out of it and I was like, nah, like, I don't think I really want that job. And then I had a second interview and I was like, oh my God, no, loved it, really want that. And I think as well, like, I get so nervous for interviews, like job interviews, I hate them. So I kind of downplay it in my head. I'm like, oh, it's fine, if I don't get it, it's fine, it'll just calm my nerves. So maybe there's like a little bit of that going on.
But also, if you've been out of work for a while or you're in the lockdown situation, it's going to be really hard to put yourself out there for the first time post. Because it's going to be out of whack at it. I just think it depends where you are in life. Are you looking for the dream job? Or are you looking for a job because you have bills to pay? Not every job is going to be the dream job. Sometimes you've got to take any kind of job just because the world keeps turning and things have to keep getting sorted.
Yeah.
If you're in a position where you do just need something, then go in and give it your all and know that this isn't your forever, but this is an option that's temporary.
Also, actually thinking that's in the retail sector. I think retail is so tough right now because it was hard hit before Corona, and Corona's just like been the cherry on top of the cake. I kind of think that maybe I would go in and like I would want that job, I think.
I'd go in just because, especially in the current climate, it's an opportunity. Also, remember, an interview is for you to find out about the job and for them to find out about you. It is a two-way street.
It is.
And you can go in, find out about the role, make an impression, have a chat with someone who you've never met before and hear what they could offer you and what you could offer them. And you can walk away at the end of that and say, I don't want that job. You could get offered it and say, it's not for me. You could get offered it and say, great, I'll take it, do 2 weeks and decide it's not your thing. The only thing I would always take the opportunity to try, just because you don't know what's going to happen at that point.
Yeah.
And sometimes if something just isn't right for you, then I've had interviews. Actually, do you remember when one of them was really homophobic to
Yes,
me?
I was thinking about that.
So I went into an interview straight after university when the guy was really homophobic.
I remember you telling me about
And
this.
he was like, you just sound really gay, you couldn't do the job.
Was it his partner? His wife was there as well.
It was a wife and it was a partner
Yeah.
who owned the company, and it was in sales and events. It was like selling a venue, and they were like, the people we deal with wouldn't be interested in speaking to someone with your tone of voice
So
and
bad.
mannerisms. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, just the way that you kind of carry yourself and speak, it's very, let's just be blunt, it's very gay. And I remember leaving, that was my first interview post-university.
Oh my God.
And I remember leaving that thinking, but now, at least, when I spoke to my recruiter afterwards, I fully just said it. I said, that was incredibly inappropriate. It was outrageous that they felt that they had the right to say that to someone they just met. But you know what I learned from that is I held my head up high. I answered their question. I said straight up to them that my sexuality shouldn't counteract the ability I have to do my job, nor has it sort of counteracted my ability to be successful in my studies, blah, 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 blah.
You handled it really well.
Like, I'm actually proud of myself thinking about that. But an interview's an interview and it's an opportunity, and I would just go for it, see what they're offering you, and then if it's not the vibe, you just say thank you for the opportunity to chat.
Yeah. I think dig into your emotions and see, like, is it you trying to calm your nerves, trying to play it down? Like, is that actually overtaking the need to want the job?
Is it fear or is it disinterest?
Yeah. But you got this and good luck.
Yeah, you've got it, and let us know how it goes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Also, job interviews are fun at the end of the day. You can dread getting there, but once you're there, you'll enjoy yourself.
Awful. Okay, so the next one is by one of my favourite listeners. She was in a relationship. She's now not in a relationship with this person, but I just think it's a topic to discuss. Okay. So she messaged her boyfriend and was like, would you not like it if I posted a bikini photo on Instagram? And he was like, why would I care about that? And was just like, kind of like made her feel a bit dumb for like, asking, would you mind? He was like, yeah, fine. So she posted this like swimsuit photo on Instagram. She looked fucking sensational.
Yeah, she looks banging.
Yeah. And then he messaged her and was like, you say you don't want to make me anything but happy, but honestly, I can't wrap my head around the fact that you thought I'd be okay about that photo. You clearly don't know me as well as you thought I did. Honestly, reading this back, this is the stuff that my ex used to say to me, be like, you say you don't want to be anything but, like, guilt-tripping you for one, and then be like, and then throw the little mark, you don't know me as well as you thought you did. Like, grow up. And then he's like, I can't grasp onto the fact that you
thought it was okay.
You thought it was okay to post that photo of you.
So, and she messaged us this basically, was it saying like, what, was she right, or?
Yeah, it was kind of like, obviously, like, they're not together anymore, but like, I just wanted to say, like, what do you think about this? And she said that, like, the photo of her that she posted was, like, the first time in ages where, like, she hadn't had to, like, face tune anything. She felt really good about herself.
Like, what an amazing moment.
All natural, and she was, like, really, like, happy about this photo. And then he just, like, totally shat on it. Like, bikini photos when you're in a relationship.
So
I think
all I would say to that is, if you're with someone, they should be your hype man. If someone is dampening your shine, that is their insecurity trying to bring you down to their level to make you not feel like you should be the hype girl to your own life. No, I'm sorry, I need a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I don't need a drain.
Absolutely.
And if someone is not being your cheerleader who's supposed to love and adore you the most in the entire world, they don't deserve a place in your life.
Absolutely.
You look banging, post that photo, and love the skin you're in, and you've taken a photo, you haven't edited it, and you absolutely love yourself, you should be posting that all over the world and being proud of yourself for having it.
I'm so glad that
Ended
they're
it.
not in a relationship anymore because
Yeah,
like
I'm
so
sorry.
it's just so toxic. Like, and you're so right. It's their insecurities. They feel so shit about themselves. They're pulling you down. Like I just think like it's so rude.
Misery loves company.
Absolutely.
And if someone isn't feeling their best and they're watching someone else thrive, who they're with, and they're feeling crappy about themselves, they're just going to they're trying to bring you down.
And the thing is, I think if there's like bikini pics like that, like you're on holiday, etc., I'm like, oh yeah. But I do think there's bikini underwear style pics that wannabe influencers do on Instagram that are a bit provocative.
Yeah.
Then I'd be a bit like, I don't know. Like,
I just don't think I could never see myself getting jealous or affected by it because I don't own someone else's body.
also, like, why is it always such a thing? It's like a girl's, like, we never, if a boy was to post a topless pic on Instagram, like, I don't think girls would react the way that boys do to girls posting those pics. It's so annoying.
If a boy else was wanting to put a bloody Speedo pic up, I'd be like, well, that's your choice. I mean, it's your Instagram.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, it's just jealousy.
It is. It
Like,
really
if
is.
you really love someone and they want to do something, like post a photo where they feel amazing and you aren't going to support them, you don't deserve to be able to love them.
Exactly.
That's how I feel.
You say it.
And also, she looks banging.
I know, it's such a good pic.
Like, gal. Fuck, yes.
I wish I looked like that.
You do.
I've got one.
Okay.
So, one of my friends who came to see me was telling me this story, and this really, really, really spurred me on to like do this episode of the podcast.
Okay. Is
of,
this our last one?
Dilemmas, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was just like, she even said, she was like, this is something you need to talk about in the podcast. I was like, this is fucking nuts. Okay. So she went on this date, like, I think this was like the second date with this guy. She met off Hinge, and she like described him as like a bit of a fuckboy. When I last saw her, she was like, oh my God, you know that boy I was telling you about? He's taking me to this like restaurant in London. It's like on my list of restaurants I want to go to. I was like, oh my God, yes, love that he's taking you to a restaurant. Love that. You know, for like someone who's a fuckboy, that's, yeah, maybe he's not a fuckboy. Anyway, he like cancelled on her. I think he cancelled on her a couple of times. They ended up going for drinks after work. I think he'd been work from home. And like she got there and she said he was still a bit in work mode, so she ordered shots to, you know, like loosen him up a little bit. And he was very, very chilled, laid back, and they were sat opposite each other, like in a pub garden. Like he didn't even swivel around to sit next to her, was affectionate. So she was a bit like, oh, I don't really know what this is like. He's a little bit cold. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to go. And he's like, oh, where should we go? And she's like, no, stay, let's have one more drink. And basically, her house was like a 15-minute walk away. His was a bit of a longer walk away, but he lives with his brother and his brother's fiancée.
Okay.
So she was like, come back to mine. And he was like, no, like, come back to mine. So she was like, okay, fine. It would have been so much easier to go back to hers. And then they got in there. And obviously she described him as very, like, a little bit cold. Like, he's very, very laid back, very chilled. As soon as that bedroom door shuts, he is an animal.
Right.
So they're having sex. He is like choking her, but like not like a little frisky choke. Like he's kind of going for it. So when I saw her, I was like, "Oh, you've got a little hickey on your neck." And my other friend was like, "Oh no, that's it, concealed. I'm surprised you can see that." And I was like, "That's not concealed." And I was like, "God, imagine what that's like without concealer on." And then she was like, "I need to tell you about the story." So that wasn't a hickey. That was a bruise
From a hand.
From a hand.
So he's like a dom.
Yes, and she was like, you know, like she's having sex with me. She's like, do you know what? I need to like get away from this like choking situation. So she like turns over, goes doggy. She's like on hands and knees. He comes at her again with the choking, and he's like pulling her hair, but pulling her hair like rough.
But she's okay with it all, right?
Well, she's like kind of trying to loosen him up a little bit, but he's going for it. And he has her like on her back, and he's got her hands above her bed, being a bit like, oh, you can't move. And she's like, I can't move. Anyway, he's coming to come. And she's saying that he's like grunting. She's like, I've never experienced anything like it. Like he's grunting. As he comes, he has her on her back as it, she's like, oh, he's going to pull out and like come on me, I guess. He comes and slaps her across the face.
Right.
He slaps her and she's like, jaw hit the floor like, what the fuck just happened?
Okay.
Like, what is that? She's like, I'm just going to go get cleaned up. Anyway, then when they get to bed, he's so cuddly. So cuddly.
So...
The dilemma is...
Yeah.
Okay, so we discussed that, but then she was like, we're supposed to be going on another date on Saturday. And me and other friends were like, are you really going to go on that? And she's like, do I just talk to him and just be like, I'm just not really into that sort of stuff? My personal opinion is like, because the first time you sleep with someone and you're acting like that, is that your version of vanilla?
Did she say no? Like
No.
okay.
It was consensual.
It's consensual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously not being slapped across the face.
Okay, so a sexual relationship, there should be trust. If that is the stuff that he wanted to do, he should have spoken to her about that before.
That's the first time you're sleeping with someone.
If that's the way someone's going to behave, then clearly, people are into different things. If he's like a dominant, like Christian Grey, whatever he wants to be, then that's fine. But that should have been a conversation. Now, if he did that without asking, and also that's a very awkward and uncomfortable situation to find yourself in, to feel like you want to, in that situation, I would not go on a second date with him.
I don't know, I'm just a bit like... Also,
I'm getting really upset.
Are you?
It's made me think about when I was sexually assaulted.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just that I've been sexually assaulted twice, and people take advantage, and that's... Oh my god.
Oh my god, I didn't mean to make you cry.
No. People... there needs to be mutual respect, and what happened, that situation, it was consensual, but he should not have behaved in that way without a conversation.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to go back into a situation with that same person who didn't have the respect and trust for me to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And willingly spend time and offer them my time because they didn't give me the respect in the first place to let me know the way they were going to treat me.
Because I was like, if you're deep in a relationship and you have like trust with someone and you're like, oh yeah, like I want to try a bit of that out, I'm kind of like, I can see that. But like the first time you're sleeping with someone, like it was just a bit wild. It's a no. So weird, because I said, I was like, don't go on a date with him again. You're agreeing with me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Red flag.
No. And to be honest, if I was you, I would say something. I'd say straight up, we didn't have that conversation. You behaved in a way that you obviously found to be appropriate, but I didn't find appropriate, and it wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go on another date with you.
Absolutely.
And also, you promised to take me out to a nice restaurant, and that still hasn't happened. So clearly,
I said that was a red flag.
Trust and truths aren't in your forte.
I know. I was like, red flag that he said you take me to this nice restaurant, and then you end up in a pub beer garden after numerous cancellations.
Exactly. But
it's a no.
Sexual relationships, it's all about trust, and if someone breaks that trust, they don't deserve any single second or minute of your time.
Preach it, sister.
Whew.
Do you want to call in?
I'm going to have 10 more Collins. Oh, we'll be right back with our Gal Code rules for the week.
Woo!
Stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at The Gal Code Podcast or at Robert Gartland or Bibi_Bagnall. We want to hear from you and let us know what you want to add into the Gal Code.
And we are back with this week's rules for the Gal Code.
I love bringing little deep rules to the Gal Code.
We always love
Have
it.
you got a bitchy one for this week?
No, mine's like a life one.
Oh, okay, so maybe, are they both a bit deep this week then?
So mine this week is called Don't Live in the Phonement.
Oh.
So basically, I took a day off of social media with Social Media Detox Day.
Didn't realise it was a thing, and then I kept seeing this photo on Instagram, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so I used the downtime app on an iPhone, and I blocked every single app apart from calls from my mother. My mum always opening for those calls.
Aww.
And just in case. And I left on my gym and my music and my podcasts, and that's it. And I did 8 hours with nothing, and then I turned it back on and then turned it back off again for a bit. And I just thought, we all live in a world where everything's behind a screen. Can we not go back to life where we all go to a concert and film the whole thing?
Yeah.
We've got 2 eyes. Why we're looking through a screen and
But
look at
also,
what's
why
going
do
on?
we film at concerts? Because, I mean, at Beyonce, I go back and sometimes I watch the videos, but like, do I really go back and sit and go, oh, yep, that was sick, yep, brilliant?
Like, it's like you see crowds of performances and people are just, it's just screen. And it's sometimes just like, let's live in the moment. Let's not live in the phonement.
Ooh, let's Let's live in the moment. Let's not live in the phone, man. And you know what? That's what, when I went surfing, like, I love it because you're not on your phone. You can't be on your phone. Your phone's away at the other end of the fucking beach.
Like people survived without these things. And I'm the worst for it. I have like 9 to 11 hours a day on my phone sometimes, which is shocking. Like, shocking. But I'm allowing myself every week, at least one day, I'm going to do a downtime for a full day off the phone.
Oh, I like
and
that.
Just try and have some time in the real world. And when you're not looking down at your phone, you're looking up at the world, and you can see new things, see new people, and enjoy your surroundings.
Do you know what it was? Oh my God, there was someone, I don't think, it wasn't like Anna Wintour, but it was someone in the fashion world. And they said, you know, like, when you travel and you go places, the worst thing you can do is just be sat on your phone.
Yeah.
Look outside the window. There's new people, new cultures, new inspirations. And I feel like that when I go, like, say, like, on a London bus, sometimes like, I'll sit on my phone or whatever. Then I'm like, oh my God, no, like, get off your phone and look up at what's around you. You just see so many things.
And do you feel like, you know, if you go on holiday and something, it's great to take memories, but when you're like taking you get a photo of this and you get a photo of this, take a photo of every single little thing, are you actually just putting your phone down enough just to look up and just take in?
I miss the days where like the only way you could get internet on holiday was going into an internet cafe and begging your parents for £2 for half an hour.
on a full desktop screen.
A full desktop screen that took like literally 10 minutes to actually open up one browser.
Or like when you'd get the 30 snaps disposable cameras, and that's all you had, so it wasn't just so instantaneous, like tap, 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 tap.
I'm going to start doing that, you know. But
yeah.
no, I like a rule. So my rule was, it's not why me, it's what is this teaching me?
Okay.
Because, you know, when things happen, and I think this is one of my tips for, like, positive mindset, it's like when something happens, it's so easy to be like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Like, why does this keep happening? And it's like, actually, okay, shit, this has happened. What is this teaching me? Like, what can I learn from this? And actually use it as an opportunity to grow.
Oh. Okay. I like both of them.
I like yours. I think yours should win for this week.
Should we do that one?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone.
Just say it out loud again.
Don't live in the phone, live in the moment.
Oh, it just sounds so good. I love how you've gone from the bitchy ones to the deep ones.
Do you know what it was? I saw what was winning and had to go along. We'll get back to stop pissing me off next week. Thank you for joining us this week for our Agony Aunt episode.
Yeah, I hope this helped.
Yeah.
We're fixing the world.
Fixing the world one day at a time.
We'll be on Good Morning Britain next.
Hey loose women. Hey Lorraine. I don't want to do Good Morning Britain. I can't stand Piers Morgan.
Can we just quickly discuss, why is Piers Morgan so nastily obsessed with Meghan Markle?
Like, why is everyone so nastily obsessed with Meghan Markle?
Piers Morgan, do you know what it is? It's because there's something that happened and she rejected him, and he's literally tarnished onto that rejection, and he's so hard. He launches attacks on her. Like, it's disgusting. Like, it's actually vile.
No.
It's horrible.
He's just not a bit of me.
Why are we ending the podcast on such a negative note? Let's end on something positive. Okay, what are we going to say? Something good. Let's do mindfulness. Let's say 3 things that we're grateful for. Every day you should think of 3 things that you're grateful for.
I'm grateful to be alive, I'm grateful for my family, and I'm grateful to have a roof over my head.
I was going to go into a bit more detail. I'm grateful for my dinner. I've been craving mussels and chips all week, and now my stomach is a bit better, so I can finally have my mussels and chips. I'm really excited.
Nice.
I'm grateful for my housemates putting a smile on my face every day, and I'm grateful for you bringing me posy vibes and laughter and Colin the Caterpillars.
And we're both grateful for you for listening.
Oh my God, so cringe, but so true.
We'll see you next week for a brand new episode. Bye.
Bye.